Hi guys, how are you all today morning? Good morning. Today in this video we will continue our discussion about the verse where Ashtavakra tells Raja Janaka and all of us living entities the inner equipments of a living entity who identifies with his or her mind body complex is scorched by the sun that generates heat of evil deeds done by that person. The evil deeds of a particular person are generating heat that scorches the inner equipments of this particular living entity. Inner equipments are etheric senses, astral mind, causal intelligence, false ego, etc. This goes on happening till the inner equipments are burnt to a crisp. But when the continuous rain of ambrosia of desirelessness fall on this fire generated by evil deeds, this living entity at last turns a new leaf and becomes happy once again. I'll give you an example, a case study of how this thing happens and how this can be proved. There was this lady in a place called Asansol in the state of West Bengal in India. This lady's name was Revathi. Right from her childhood, her parents had died and she had become an orphan, as a result of which she was taken care of by her adopted parents who were good Samaritans and affluent people. This girl always craved for her own parents, but she kept her mouth shut and thanked her stars that she was being brought up by such good people. This good Samaritan affluent family also had one daughter whose name was Indrani. Indrani was slightly older than Revathi. She was extremely beautiful, very well behaved, very well spoken, erudite, and educated, and she had all divine qualities of kindness, compassion, etc. This lady's kindness to Revathi made Revathi feel very inferior, and she had a belief that Indrani was patronizing her. In Revathi became slowly envious and then jealous of Indrani. One day, Indrani grew up, became a teacher, and met a very handsome guy in her own school or locality. This guy became her boyfriend and lover. Revathi was burnt to a crisp out of jealousy, Actually, the boy was so good looking and decent that she wanted him for herself. But she did not dare to speak out for fear that everyone would turn against her. And then, when her evil mind was on an overworking stage, she planned the murder of this very Indrani who and whose family had brought her up lovingly. Revathi and Indrani went into some agreement. They had decided to go to some nearby place for a marriage or something. They took a train and took a private cabin for their journey. Indrani was in the seat looking out of a window. Revathi was sitting on the opposite bench. Revathi took some tea and gave it to Indrani. Indrani drank it without knowing that Revathi had laced it with drugs. Indrani soon became dizzy and then sleepy. Revathi cold bloodedly strangulated Indrani. But next day, Revathi, who had escaped the cabin in the next station and had come back to Kolkata, regretted her decision to do such an evil deed miserably. She was very, very contrite and ashamed of herself for doing such a dastardly act. One day she was arrested by the cops and taken to the court where she was imprisoned for life. Revathi spent every second of her life in the jail regretting her evil deed and her dastardly act. She regretted murdering her elder sister or elder adopted sister Indrani. She could not get that handsome boy as a lover even after Indrani was dead. Now she remembered Indrani all her life and was contrite and imagining or remembering all the good days that she had spent with Indrani and her family. Revathi was so contrite that she wrote her story in a magazine called Satyakatha in India, and she said that today she was thinking of repenting for her sins and that now she was happy that she had got a life sentence for such a cruel and sadistic act. She regretted every second of it. This shows that her inner equipments were scorched by the heat generated by her own evil deeds. And then, after regretting for a long time, after stewing in her own juice for years and years together, she at last got ready for the rain of ambrosia of desirelessness that fell on her heated, on her hot conscience and cooled it down. Now, for the first time, Revathi was experiencing true happiness. This is what Ashtavakra tells us all. Kindly let me know what you think of my talk on this story. If you sincerely feel that I am talking sense, please subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon so that I can remind you of my other videos. Till we meet in my next video, it is good morning from TSV Raghavan.